What is going on, everybody? Dirty D's in the hizzy. Hey man, check it out. Here's little Brad. You're gonna see him around from time to time, but today what I want to talk about is changes. Boy, the US is going through some changes. You might be going through some changes. You guys know I went through some changes in my personal life this year, and you know what? They had to be done. Here's what I want to talk about with regard to changes. 3 things. Number 1, there is no growth without change. If you think about a puppy, a business, a tree, whatever it is, man, I mean, there's no growth without change. It's impossible. A family, you name it. You gotta have change to be able to grow. That's number 1. The second thing I want to talk to you guys about is the fact that, you know, you want to use every change that happens, and sometimes there are changes that are forced upon you. Think about it like this. Use every change as an opportunity to trade up in life. I'll give you an example, right? Let's say that you end up losing a relationship. The next relationship, this is giving you a chance to trade up. You lose a job, this is giving you a chance to trade up. The way that I like to look at it is it's the universe or God or karma or whatever you want to call it. You're being sent a signal that you have become comfortable where you are. And maybe where you are was a good place. You know, maybe you had a job that was a good paying job. You liked doing the job. You enjoyed it. You were there for a few years. But there was something that pushed you to move forward. It's whatever you want to call it. Like I say, God, the universe, karma, saying you've become comfortable. You deserve more. Now go out and get it. And sometimes you have to be pushed to go out and get it. So that's the third thing. And then the last thing I want to leave you with is this. You know, when it comes to change, sometimes we cannot help but to be thrown into change. You always want to use that as an opportunity, right? Change is inevitable. Oftentimes we cannot fight change. It's something that's going to happen whether we want it or not. So, you know, it's like I've heard before, and I love this saying. Anytime you have a change come into your life, you've got a choice. You can either laugh or you can cry, right? You can take that change on board and move forward, man. Maybe you wanted it, maybe you didn't, but we all have these burdens to carry, right? So, you know, you might be going through personal changes in your life. I know that our country's going through changes. We're going through a change of guard, if you will, a change of leadership, if you want to call it that, and that's going to be okay. So I do want to give you my thoughts, and you know I don't get real political on this channel, and that's intentional. But the next regime, the next change of guard that comes in, you can bet this. You can bet that it is going to be very different than what we've gone through within the last 4 years. And the reason is, I mean, Trump was a president like we have never had before, and probably never will have again. You know, he was all up on Twitter all the time. There was a lot going on every single day. We're trying to keep up with it, for better or for worse. I mean, I'm not necessarily going to tell you if I like the guy or I didn't like the guy. I think it's pretty obvious if you've been following this channel for a while what side I fall on. If not, go back and watch some of the videos and maybe you'll piece it together, maybe not. But what I will say is this. It's going to be very different. You're not going to see a lot of drama every day, I don't believe. I think that probably Biden's going to take more of a back seat and work through the other politicians around him. Let's be real about it. He's a politician. But I don't think you're going to see him all up in the Twitters, giving his opinions all the time. And you know what, guys? Maybe, I don't know, maybe we're ready for that. Maybe we're ready for a little bit of calm. Maybe we're ready to like tamp the fires down a little bit. What do I think about Trump? You know what, man? You can't argue with what he did with the economy. The economy was booming. A lot of us did pretty well, despite the circumstances. Now, how are people going to do with Biden? Look, that's up to you. That ain't up to the president, and that's not up to Congress, and that's not up to, you know, Senate, the House, all of these external forces, and it never has been. You control that, or you decide to use whoever's in office as a scapegoat or a reason that you did not accomplish certain things. So, like I say, man, there's 2 types of people in the world. Those that things happen to and those that make things happen. It's going to be up to you to make that change. You know, as change comes on, when the rules of the game change, then you change the way you play the game. That's what it comes down to. And yes, the rules of the game may change. There will be certain things that get, you know, put into law or repealed or changed. And you can sit back and say, oh, woe is me. You know, like a lot of people did with Trump. Oh, you know, he made it harder for me to make any money because the rich got richer and the poor got poorer. Man, that was on you, dude. That wasn't on Trump. That was on you. Because we will always have a change of guard. If you notice in U.S. politics, the pendulum swings from conservative to more liberal. And then it will swing again from conservative to more liberal. And you know what? We need that. We can't just have liberals over and over and over and over and over. That's not good for the country. And we just can't have conservatives over and over and over, because that's not good for the country either, man. I mean, somewhere in the middle is where we thrive. But I will tell you this, I'm going to close it up just by saying this, folks. You know, just always remember one thing. Nobody controls your life unless you let them. And I'm just going to leave it at that, man. I hope to see you guys out there in the mother humming streets. You might see more of these videos of me just yapping about my opinions from time to time. It is a motorcycle channel, of course. But, man, I love just having these talks with you. Unedited, no filters, no music. Just telling you what I think is on my mind. I hope you guys don't mind. And, you know, hang in there with me. You can leave some comments if you'd like. I'd love to know how you feel about the changes that are happening in America, you know, all around the world, really. And, you know, the one thing that I would say is, as we come into more changes, take a breath, relax, hold on a second, and know that you are in control of your own destiny. You can thrive under any administration. You can thrive under any circumstances, whether they be financial or relationship-wise or anything like that. So, as I close this up, I'm going to leave it, once again, I like to leave you guys on a positive note. So I'm going to show you my little dog, Bradley, just kind of running around here on a beautiful weekend. Bradley, where you at? Come here, boy. Come. There he is. Oh, man, oh, man. We're so happy to have him. He was from a rescue shelter. He first came from Louisiana. He escaped a hurricane, so they moved all those dogs to a Houston shelter, and then there was a hurricane about to hit Houston, Texas, so they moved all those dogs into San Antonio, Texas, and we were so lucky to get little Brad. I would say this one thing, man. If you're looking for a positive change in your life, hey, go down to your local shelter, man, and pick up one of these beautiful pups. I mean, this little guy is, I don't know, what is he, about, they said 18 months old, something like that, and we're so happy to have him. Look for the positives in life, people, because there's only one thing that's consistent, man, and that is change. All right, peace out, folks. Hope to see you out there in the mother humming streets, baby. It's time to celebrate.